be good as new. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not fucking muted. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, bringing you the action once again here at SimPlay Motorsport. We have returned for our first cross-play season. We bring you PS5 and Xbox live here at SimPlay Motorsport for Season 4, and we start things off here at Donington Park for the first race of the season. I'm excited, everyone else is excited, and I cannot wait to get this season underway. And first things first, let me say a big thank you to our brand new sponsor, Bozzy Designs, for giving us these fantastic overlays as well. Nice to see the overlays as well. It's been fantastic. We've had an awesome build-up ready to this new season, and we cannot wait to get going. My name is Dan Davis on Dub 16, and you would normally hear me commentating on the Pro category, but this season I am in the commentary box for the Pro-Am and racing for the Pro. Matthew Duffin and PM Motorsport will be joining you for the Pros, as I will be taking on the Pro category this season. But we're back live, and I am so excited to see everybody in the chat, and it is going to be a fantastic season ahead. And we got some new drivers, we got some new cars, and we've got some whole new challenges. But first things first, let's talk about the first couple of things that are completely different here at SimPlay Motorsport. First things first, we are on new generation consoles. I've got an echo, stupid thing. There we go. Thank you, Peaceful. All my mistakes happening already, so good start. Yeah, hopefully everything should have sorted itself out. We're live here, and like I said, the brand new changes and loads of things different here this season for Season 4. We've also got the start of, like I said, the PS5 and Xbox transition. That is the big new thing. We have gone cross-play. We have introduced Xbox. For the first time, SimPlay Motorsport has reached out to the Xbox community. So hello to all the Xbox fans. Nice to see you here with us at SimPlay Motorsport. Next things next, we've had a few rule changes. We've also got new cars as well. First things first, we've got the brand new cars. We've got the McLaren 720 Evo here on the game. We've also seen these cars introduced on the PS5 League that we shortly had. We got the BMW M4 also here with us as well. We got the Porsche 992. We got the new Audi, but I don't believe we have any Audis on track at the moment. And we got the Lamborghini Evo 2 as well. That's the old Evo. I don't think there's an Evo. There is an Evo 2. There's an Evo 2 out on track. And it's nice to see all these brand new cars as well. There's also the Ferrari 296 as well. So it's all going to be a fantastic set of cars here that are new to a lot of these drivers, are coming from PS4 to PS5. And obviously the Xbox boys probably already have a heads up on this already. New rules, new changes, new everything, and obviously teams are introduced. As you can see on the column there, we have all of our drivers' names, so you won't be seeing their PSN names, you will not be seeing their Xbox names, you will see their actual names if they've allowed us to give them their race names, and also their teams underneath as well, which is a nice little feature as well. You can see who's on PlayStation, and obviously the globe means that they are on Xbox. The rules are fairly simple, basically same as the season before. We have a sprint race and we have a feature race. Currently, right now, these guys are in free practice, and right now, free practice is currently going underway. We've got about 6 minutes left of this session, and these guys are going to get their cars tuned in, get it all set up, ready for the race, although these may not be the conditions for the race, so it all could still change yet. There is a couple of drivers on the grid here. They are coming up as grey. That will be Matthew Duffin and Flem Speed 1. Now, obviously, a lot of these guys, to sign up to the league, they had to do a hot stint, so they had to produce 6 laps, one after the other, and produce their average lap time so that we could put them in the correct category, from Pro to Pro-Am. Obviously, Matthew, being that he's going to be the Pro commentator, has been allowed to race in the Pro-Am, as has Flemsby 1 due to the fact that he can't make the Thursday nights. So we've allowed these two to be in here, but they do carry ballast and a restrictor as well. So they are added weight and their cars have been slowed down. So we will see how these two boys will get on. The restrictor and ballast seems to be affecting the cars. In the dry, in the wet, they're not as bad, but we shall see how these boys get on. Matt didn't take to my idea of running with the Retia, but, you know, you can only try so hard. So that's one thing as well. Obviously, the red ones mean they're in Pro-Am. For the pros, they will be white tomorrow night. Regarding the format of tonight, we've got the practice session going on ahead. We will have a normal 2-session qualifying session, as normal for the first round of the season. So they'll go into a qualifying session, they'll get their grid order for race 1, and then they'll go into the sprint. A sprint of 20 minutes, and instead of the whole 20 minutes they could pit, there's a pit window of only 15 minutes now. So at the start of the race, they can't just pit straight away. They do have to extend the stint as far as they dare. Obviously, a sprint race, anything can happen, but it's only 20 minutes, flat out lights the flag. Then they'll go into another second qualifying session, ready for race 2, and then from race 2, they'll do the same again, which is the feature race, which will be a 45-minute race, and again, a pit window of only 15 minutes. Regarding the pit stops, though, the pit stops have changed for this season. The pit stops, you no longer have to change tyres. You can add fuel if you like, but it does add time. So the guys can literally come in, stop, and go. Basically the same as we had the season before in the PS5 league that we've done towards the end of PS4. So these guys will have to come in, make a pit stop, but it's up to them whether they want to change the tyres or add fuel. If they decide to do half the race with low fuel, they're going to add more fuel towards the end of it anyway. So we'll see how those boys get on with that choice. But they can come in, stop, drop, and off they go. It's totally up to them. A few other things as well. Pole position, there will be a point for pole position as well. And also, thanks to ACC being updated more on the PS5 and the new generation consoles, there is a point for fastest lap as well. So that's been back to the season as well. Once we get round 1 out the way, the championship standings will be complete. And for the next race of the season, it will be a reverse grid for the next race, for the feature race. So we will see how those guys go on. That'll be reverse grid of the championship standings. So that is a basic format of the championship. Regarding other things that have changed as well, obviously, first things first, I've to say a massive thank you to our new sponsor, Bozzy Designs, for doing these fantastic overlays. As obviously, we still got Audio Sport and Design Manchester, so please go and support those guys, all three of them, as they do fantastic things for our channel, and we bring you all this fantastic action here at Donington Park. So please have a look at their socials. They should be in the description below, and make sure you give them a like and subscribe as well to any of their YouTube, Instagrams, TikTok, Twitch, whatever they do. Give them a follow on there. Regarding the championship, though, we have got a long night's worth of a long week, 10 weeks of racing ahead of us. Tibbs' mum in the chat saying this is going to be crazy. Yes, it is. It's going to be very exciting is what it is. I will read you the calendar. It's a very exciting calendar at that. First things first, we start things off at the home of SimPlay Motorsport. We are here at Donington Park GP for a day race. And at the minute, the conditions are completely random. Right now, we've got the sun out towards the end of practice, but we have had rain for most of the session. So we don't know if the rain's going to kick in later on or not, so we will see. Classic British weather, always wet. Regarding the calendar, though, we start things off here at Donington Park for the first race of the season. Then we go to our first time change session. We go to Zolder for round 2 for an evening race. And then we head to the Nürburgring for the early morning race for round 3 of the season. Round 4, we go to Imola. And round 5, the track we haven't been to yet, we'll go to Orton Park. Round 6 is going to be Silverstone. Round 7 is going to be our night race at the Temple of Speed of Monza. Then we head to the Land of the Rising Sun of Suzuka, Japan for round 8. Round 9 will be at the famous Spa-Francorchamps. And then we finish things off down in South Africa at Kyalami for round 10 of the season. It is an interesting calendar indeed, and I am sure to enjoy the racing here tonight. It's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, and I cannot wait. Let's have a quick run through of the drivers then, because I will be honest, my even though I am English, my actual English is pretty poor. My dyslexia might kick in quite bad, so I really do apologise to any of the drivers, anyone at all, if I mispronounce their names. So at the end of this session, it was Nova who was fastest in the McLaren in the 88. Currently, at the minute, is... I'm going to try my best, and Matt's already been going through the names for me. I'm going to try my best. Storson is P2 in the Lamborghini, with Goudet in P3. Matthew Duffin going into P4 with his restrictor. Nikita is in P5. Davis is in P6. P7 was DJ Phil. Gray was in P8. Dean is currently P9. 10 was Flem Speed 1. Cranky Duckhead was in 11th place. Playman was in P12. Raiden was in 13th. Wasaki was in 14th. Michelle 15th. Micro J's in 16th. As Allsbrook was 17th. Peterson was in 18th. Andrews in 19th. And Max Mulder bringing up the rear. And like I said, I will try my very, very best to get these pronunciations right. We go into qualifying now, and it is sunny at the minute, but in 30 minutes' time, rain is expected. So as all the cars come out of the pits, they're all flooding out. It is Matthew Duffin who starts things off, and Matt has got a brand new teammate into the Pro-Am. He's been partners with Gary 131 for a few seasons now. He has obviously moved down to Pro-Am in the BMW M4, and he is driving for Jaeger Motorsport. He is partnered up with a veteran of the channel, that is Dean Wasaki. He's also gone into the BMW, and that makes up the Jaeger Sport duo for the Pro-Am category. Returning champions, Constructors champions, is Team Audio Sport, KLF 900 known as, but Kelly Davis returns back to the Pro-Am category in a McLaren Evo. And he has got a brand new teammate. Obviously myself being promoted up into Pro. Kelly has had to find a brand new teammate, and Team Audio Sport Remix may give you a clue. He is partnered up with our good friend DJ Phil in the Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2. What can the reigning champions do in the Pro-Am category? We got Nikita, one of the brand new drivers in the 888 BMW. We got Peterson, an independent on his own in the 560 at McLaren Evo 2. We got Gray as well, another independent in the 666 BMW. We got Andrews returning back once again in the Audi, the 57 Audi. Nice to see Andrews back on the track. And then we look to the Bullet Bandits Racing. They were fastest in practice with Nova in the McLaren Evo 2. He is also partnered up with Allsbrook in the BMW. So the 88 and the 71, what can they do? They look like a very strong force. Then we got Raiden and Micro J's partnering up together. I need to ask him how to pronounce that name. I am not going to even bother trying. But we got Raiden, who is also known as PN Motorsport. And he is obviously partnered up with his very good friend Micro J's, both deciding to run the Bentley this season, the 666 and the 316. Then we got the Cranky Duckhead returning back in the Honda, the only Honda on the grid here. John Andrews was the only Audi as well, so it's nice to see two returning cars from the original game and also the Bentley as well, so it's nice to see them back here. Then we got the FSO Racing with Sternson in the 87 Lamborghini, and also Flem Speed 1 in the Porsche 992, the 721 and the 87 here as well. We got Richie's course with Michelle in the 93 Ferrari, and he is on his own tonight. Then we got Goudet with the Greasy Bandits Racing in the Mercedes number 8, and he's partnered up with Dean in the 38 Ferrari. And then we got Pau Mau, who's also joined us in the channel, a Lamborghini, but a choice of the Lamborghini Huracan Evo 1, the old version, and he is going to see what he can do in the older version. And then we've got Max Mulder, the Pro-Am driver for BTC Jaeger Racing the Pro-Am team to BTC Racer, to Tibbs and Gary 131. What can he do in the McLaren Evo? And that, so far, is your Pro-Am grid. 20 cars here tonight. It is going to be an interesting qualifying session here as Sternson is currently fastest of them all at the minute. He's only just ahead of the defending constructor driver of Kelly Davis, currently P2 at the minute. It is very difficult. Try not to use the drivers like gamer names. It's really difficult. So, yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do. So Kelly Davis currently sitting in second at the minute. Matt with the restrictor. He's only 10 hundredths off the back of Kelly Davis. He is currently coming to the final sector. No one currently on a lap time as they're all starting to flood themselves to the back end of the circuit to get their lap times on the board. But it's going to be Matthew Duffin next towards the line. What is he going to do? He gets within 3/10 of Sternson, who looks like he doesn't improve yet, so he's still got that 3/10 of a gap. Matt, though, showing that he can still find pace in a restricted car. We've got the AAA coming to the line. Nikita, he is on a valid lap time, so what can he produce here? Towards the line, he comes in the BMW, and he will put himself up into 5th place position. We've got the number 18 now heading towards the line. That is Playman, and towards the border line comes him, and he goes into a 10th place position. The 22 of Kelly Davis continuing on to do a lap as we got another car coming towards the line. I believe it was a 93. That was Michelle. He improves and goes into 11th place. We got the number 8 of Goudet, and he goes across the line. He now goes in P2. There's only 300 separating the top two, and we got cars flooding in left, right and center to complete their lap times here. We got another car coming towards the line. That is the 53. That is DJ Phil. Can he find an improvement? Yes, he does. He goes up into a 6th place position as Micro J's just crosses the line. He finds an improvement as well as Flem Speed 1 currently still in 7th place position. The 560 of Peterson towards the line. He goes 14th so far with the 666 coming up towards the line. Gray in the BMW being followed by Max Mulder. Gray goes 13. Max Mulder gets himself up into the top 5 and is fast flowing already, and Matt is already back around to the top. I mean, he gets within 300. No, Matt's gone fastest. Matt is fastest of them all with the restrictor on board. He's only 0.002 of a second faster than P2, 300 of a second faster than Goudet in P3. Max Mulder is in this close fight as well, as we've got loads of cars now coming towards the line. Nikita gets within 4/10. So all these guys starting to get the flow, starting to get the conditions down, as rain will be hitting them very shortly as Playman crosses the line and no improvement. As the 31, the Cranky Duckhead in the Honda, coming towards the line now. And guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified. The pros will be bringing you action tomorrow, as Nova now goes fastest of them all. He finds just under 2/10, and he goes fastest of them all. Marco J's and PM Motorsport both in the pits, thinking that's their session done with 2.5 minutes left to go. And there's still plenty of chances for people to improve. As Flem Speed 1 goes to 10th place position as they're all heading towards the hairpin. There is your P3 man at the minute. Stosen towards the final hairpin. I feel like I'm getting his name wrong every single time, but right now I'm just going with it. He's in the final hairpin. Can he get a good drive, good exit? Can he snatch pole position away from Nova? Not quite. Within 1/10 of him now. Where is Nova? He is at the back end of the circuit. He is coming to complete his lap time. The AAA of Nikita was looking rather quick earlier on. We've got Dean Wasaki coming to complete a lap time as well. Dean Wasaki goes to P13. Nikita, no improvement. He will stay where he is for the meantime. That's the 66 of Gray, no improvement, so he stays where he is as well. The Cranky Duckhead back to the Honda as he comes through the final corner now. Try and get a good exit, a good run towards the line. He's currently P11. What is this lap time going to be? It puts him P5, an improvement. And I think that's Nova behind him as well. Was he going to improve? Yes, he does. He nearly finds half a second on the rest of the pack into the 28s. Low 28s we go. let's have a look at the further end of the circuit as drivers trying to negotiate this fantastic circuit, Donington Park, an iconic circuit at that as well, a FIA Grade 2 circuit. And the length is 2.4 miles long with 12 corners, and the lap record is actually held with a 1:17.7 by a Lola F1 car, an A1 GP car. And I said, an awesome track. It was meant to have Formula One back in the day, but sadly it did not get the funding and did not get what they needed to get Formula One 2 at the grid. It needed to be an FI Grade 1, and they did not get that. As a lot of drivers now come to the end of the session, it is getting cooler. The clouds are coming in. The rain looks like it's coming in. Nikita crosses the line, and he needs to find a second. This will be his last lap. The guys who are coming into the final sector now, this will be it. Cranky Duckhead is coming to the line, and I think him backwards will struggle to find a lap. Nova will probably squeeze another one in. So from Nova forward, that will be it. As Simon Blair in the chat, good luck to all the lads tonight. Liveries are looking good as well. Nova crosses the line. He'll be the last one to set a lap time here as the rest of the guys come to the end of their first qualifying session of the night. And we got the 53 of DJ Phil, currently P7 at the minute. Good lap times. He's quicker than his teammate at the minute. To the line he comes, and he has no improvement. DJ Phil will stay 7th as it stands, but everyone else has got to set their lap times now. Who is next on the grid? It's the 71 of Allsbrook. He's coming to the hairpin of the Melbourne hairpin. And he goes to the final hairpin, turn 12. Can he get a good run? Good break in. It's very tricky to get right around here. But into the final hairpin he comes. Try and get a good run, a good exit. Oh, he's got a little bit wide. He's 4.5 off the pace at the minute towards the line. He finds an improvement, but does not go any higher. The 22, no, not the 22, sorry, that is the 32 of Dean Wasocki. Any improvement? No, Dean will stay 12th overall. Only a handful of guys left to cross the line. The 666 of Gray into the final corner now. And what can Gray do as he goes down the Wheatcroft straight, and he will stay in 16th place position. That is your qualifying session done. It is Nova who takes pole position here for the very first race of the season. It's McLaren who start on pole here, and a fantastic job from him. The Bullet Bandits Racing take the first point of the season, and now we're about to get underway for the sprint race. Just before the sprint race gets underway, a few information about Donington Park. I said 12 corners long. It was opened in 1931 and then reopened in 1977, and it's held some amazing events. It holds the British Touring Car Championships, the British GT, TCR UK, and it used to have the Formula One here. It's had DTM here, FIA GT, Superbikes, all sorts, World Superbikes as well. So it's a very well-used circuit. It's an iconic circuit for the British touring cars as well. Only recently started using the GP layout as well. And just as I say, we're getting these lovely dry conditions. We have greasy, wet conditions for the race. So these boys have got a lot of work to do for this one. So a quick rundown of the circuit. Obviously up towards turn 1 would be Gred Gate, into turn 2 and 3 is the Craner Curves, down towards turn 4 of the old hairpin. Then it's up towards 5 and 6, towards 7 of the tricky corner of McLean's. Then into 8, the tricky Coppice corner. Then down the SimPlay straight into the chicane, aka the S's of 9 and 10, into the Melbourne hairpin, and then back into turn 12 of Gonards. I believe that is how it's pronounced. Gonards, that's the one. I keep repeating myself. But we are getting ready to get underway for the first race of the season. 20-minute sprint, and a couple of guys have not readied up, and they have returned back to the pits. That is the Cranky Duckhead and a Flem Speed 1. The very first race of the season, and we're about to get underway. as I will now put a poll in on who you think will be the winner of the first race, as we'll put Nova as one of the options. And with these wet conditions, that might give Matt a fighting chance with the restrictor on board, as they will try and get temperature, brake pressure, get everything right. And obviously in these wet conditions, they have a choice to make. Do they go slicks or do they go wets? And right now it is just spitting with rain. It's greasy conditions, so probably the slicks would be the best option. But it's meant to be getting wetter later on in the race, 10 minutes time, but it then eases off again. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm not sure what Nova's doing. He's needs to keep the pack moving. He is controlling the pace. So there you go, guys. There is your poll for the first race of the season. Get your votes in on who you think is going to win the first race of the season. A couple other stats as well. Lap records round here. Lap records here in the Pro-Am in Donington Park GP. The qualifying record was a 28.0 done by BT Targa and the Mercedes back in the Project Cars days, and then the race record was a 29.0 by Alfie in the Ferrari. Regarding the pros, the lap record in the pros was a 26.6 by Gary 131 in the Porsche, and then his race record again was Gary 131 in the Porsche, once again, of a 1 minute 28 second flat. So guys, this is the first race of the season. This is the Pro-Ams. This is where it all begins. So far, we've got 20 cars will start this season, 20 competitors, 10 circuits, 20 rounds, only one champion. Who is going to start the season off with the win in their pocket? Nova has already taken the pole position point away from everybody else. Can he continue his form into the race as they come up towards Gonards now and they get themselves in a 2x2 position? Season 4 SimPlay Motorsport Pro-Am Championship, it is now underway here as we get ready for the go. And we are green here at Donington Park for the start of the brand new season as we head up towards turn 1. Nova has had a decent jump, but around the outside goes the Lamborghini, and they've made contact. The Lamborghini's gone round, and there's all sorts of chaos going in turn 1. There's contact, there's damage, there's cars everywhere, and chaotic lap 1 already, and there's damage to multiple cars. There's cars off in the gravel. Damage all over the place as the tables now update, and it is a absolute chaos first couple of corners as they head down towards Old Hairpin. Just as everything starts to even itself up, I will be able to find out who is where, but it is Nova who leads the way, and already Playman has already returned back to the pits, and that's going to be a retirement already for him if he doesn't get back on track. But it is Nova who leads the way from Goudet, from DJ Phil, KLF, Kelly Davis and Max Mulder all going at it. As you can see there, the Mercedes of Goudet is going around the outside, heading down towards the S's. DJ Phil is going side by side with the Mercedes. Can he go around the outside? They're going into it together, and DJ Phil has to conceive a go straight on. So does his teammate, and so does Matt Duffin in the background as well, but Nova disappears into the distance. But KLF having to defend from Max Mulder and Matthew Duffin as well, as Matt Duffin goes down the inside, goes very deep, pushes them both wide, and that's allowed Max Mulder to get the undercut through. Nikita's just on the back of Dean Wostocki. Meanwhile, the other Dean has just lost out to Michelle. Both Ferraris going at it side by side. Andrews in the Audi is in P11, but that is the first lap. Nova leads the way from DJ Phil, Goudet from DJ Phil, from Matthew Duffin, from Davis, from Mulder, from Wostocki, from Nikita, from Dean, from Michelle. That is your top 10. Andrew is in 11th. Peterson is in 12th. Gray is in 13th. Cars coming into the pits, all ready to repair the damage. Olsbrook up into 14th. Flem Speed 1 15th. Cranky Duckhead after starting in the pits up into 16th. As we've got Strost. I can't even say his name now. the Lamborghini driver into the pits as PN is gone through. Micro J's has got big damage, as has Playman as well. DJ Phil, though, really hassling the back of Goudet at the minute, who's really got a train behind him. Max Mulder sets the fastest lap of the race at the start of this one. An absolute chaos here at Donington Park, and you can see everyone just struggling in these conditions. The pit window has now opened, sadly, for Micro J's and the Lamborghini driver. That both have to come back into the pits. And DJ Phil has gone through up into second place and has got through Goudet. Now it's Duffin's turn to try and have a go, but Max Mulder is right behind him as well. Goudet's gone wide, the Mercedes driver on the grass, and that's allowed Duffin through with Mulder coming down the inside. Kelly Davis is just behind him as well in the other McLaren. Meanwhile, the other BMW driver, Dean Wasaki, is right in as well. So Max Mulder down the inside, pushing Goudet out, and some old veteran drivers here in the SimPlay category all going at it. But it's DJ Phil who is in second place. Always run a little bit wide, but Matt is not able to capitalize on that. Matt straight into the pits to serve his pit stop straight away, as does Nikita. All the pit windows have now opened, so all these guys can pit under the pit window. Nova leads the way though, from DJ Phil in second, Max Mulder in third, Kelly Davis in fourth, Dean Wasaki is now fifth. Matt is into the pits because Matt has come to a stop. Has he gone again? Yes, he has. There's just a drop and go, and that is the new rules. They do not have to pit and change tyres. It is completely up to them. But DJ Phil in second place. Meanwhile, Nova is just extending his gap. Let's see what they've got, because I can't be in old school pro-am, says Welshie, and go on down. Nice to see you in the chat, Welshie. And Nova extending his gap ahead of DJ Phil. Max Mulder in a solid P3 at the minute. Kelly Davis currently P4. He's got Wasaki right up behind him. So already the Jaeger Motorsport boys going at it with the Team Audio Sport boys, as already Nikita gets a drive-through penalty, and he hasn't completed his pit stop window for some reason. I don't know how. All he has to do is stop, but he's got a drive-through now. So far, Duffin and Goudet are the only ones to complete their stop. Dean has been dropped, and a few others as well in the pits. Not really on a fast one there. Most of them choosing not to obviously have the cheap pit stop of just no tyres, no fuel, just keep going. But Max right now sitting in third, ahead of the other fellow McLaren driver at KLF. Not teammates, obviously. And DJ Phil continuing on. Max in third, doing a solid job at the minute. Dean Wasaki sticking with them just behind, as Andrews in the Audi, currently P6. And we've got a bit of a scrap here. Flemsby 1 has found a way past Gray. Gray, meanwhile, has got Cranky Duckhead right up behind him. Oh, and Gray hits the brakes. He wanted to pit, I think. And Cranky Duckhead got caught up in that. And Matt Duffin continues on through as Allsbrook now into the final corner. He comes and tries to get a good exit, a good run, and he's now choosing to pit as well. Has Nikita going to decide to come in and do his drive-through? That is the question. Any fights going on? Gray at the minute is trying to get, I swear he's ahead. No, he's not. He's not ahead of the Cranky Duckhead. He's currently got Matt Duffin up behind him, and Gray's gone off wide onto the grass. He goes. Wasaki, meanwhile, is really hustling the back of Kelly Davis right now, but looks like Kelly had a better exit through the first part of the final part of Sector 2. And already into this session, we are 14 minutes into this session. Meanwhile, Max Mulder has brought the gap down to DJ Phil. It is only 9/10 now. Cranky Duckhead is starting to gain onto the back of Andrews. Matthew Duffin now P9. Gray falling down the order. Goudet obviously trying to extend his advantage further back from Allsbrook. Nikita has a drive-through. He has got a pit again, and he's trying to stay out of the way of the leaders. Dean currently 14th, so everyone's spread out quite a bit here. But it's Wasaki who is on the move. We've got to stop and go for Allsbrook as well for speeding in the pit lane. So all sorts of mistakes already happening. I will stop the poll there because we are just past halfway, and it's a split vote between Nova and Matthew Duffin as we watch Dean Wasaki on the back of KLF, but KLF is being held up here. Kelly Davis is being held up quite badly by the BMW. Dean Wasaki has had contact with the BMW of, oh Jesus, who was that in the background going off? I think that is the 82, 87, no, I'm not sure who that is that's currently off. That is the... I'm not sure who that was that's gone flying off circuit. Oh, that is a Ferrari. So it's the 93 of Michel. He's gone off somewhere and made a mistake. Meanwhile, Max Mulder is on the back of DJ Phil as they head towards the chicane. Bouncing over the curve. You don't want to hit that too hard. Meanwhile, Matthew Duffin is already onto the back of the Cranky Duckhead. Oh, he's already cleared. Sorry, Cranky Duckhead has cleared John Andrews. So it's John Andrews now under pressure from Matthew Duffin. As you get a lovely look at the rear wings of a few drivers. And this is not really how I plan to do this, but you know, another on-board view of another driver, and not what I wanted at all. But yeah, we won't do that anymore because we missed most of the action. Because Max Mulder now is still trying to find a way through on DJ Phil. Meanwhile, Matthew Duffin has cleared John Andrews. He has now gone up a position, but Matt has done his pit stop. The weather is defo a challenge, says the Mutts Nuts in the chat. Cranky Duckhead now trying to extend the gap on Matthew Duffin as Nikita finally comes in and he gets his stop done as Allsbrook has to serve his pit stop. Michel's in for damage as well. But so far the leaders have not pitted, and it's Nova who leads the way from DJ Phil. Max Mulder has had a moment somewhere because he's dropped back, and Kelly Davis is up into P4. He's going to start a season, P3, sorry. Is Kelly Davis going to find himself on the podium already at Donington Park? Didn't get a podium, I think, for most of the season last season, and already on this new version, he is up into P3. He'll be happy with that. Wasaki down in P5, but he needs to come and do his pit stop relatively soon. Craggy Duckhead in P7, still trying to hold off Matthew Duffin. This is really going to be hurting Matthew's progression right now, because with it still with a car in his way is holding him up while the leaders can come in and stop. So Nova is in, and I guarantee it's just going to be a drop and go for him, as the two Audio Sport drivers looking good in P2 and P3 at the minute, but they choose to carry on through. Dean Wasaki also continuing to go through. They've only got 7 minutes left of the window. Max Mulder has now opted to come into the pits, as does Flem Speed 1, so pit stops are now starting to happen. Matthew Duffin has finally got past the Cranky Duckhead. But Nova, where is Nova? He is exiting pit lane. And Matthew Duffin goes into turn 1. He now leads this race with Nova having to fall behind him. So can Nova use the ballast and the advantage of the restrictor on Matt's car as an advantage to try and find a way past? That is the question. Meanwhile, it's the Team Audio Sport boys leading the way, and DJ Phil is trying to negotiate his way through traffic, but he can't find a way through at this minute. Kelly Davis currently P2 as well. Wasaki P3, but it's Matt on track leading with quite a gap, because Nova's fallen back behind the Cranky Duckhead as he's trying to get possibly, oh, he's touched the curb there, and the rear end did not like that, and it stepped out. Where else have we got action? So Dean currently in 11th, PN currently 12th, Nikita 13th, Gray's had another moment, he's gone off. Peterson, Micro J's is into the gravel. Can he get it going again? That's the question. Michel's working his way back through the order, but he has just had to allow the leader through. So DJ Phil now into the hairpin. Is he going to opt to pit? No, DJ Phil still chooses to stay out and continue on through. Kelly Davis is looking like he's coming into the pits. Yes, he is, and he will come to the pit stop to complete his mandatory stop. Meanwhile, Matt is in the hairpin. And Nova right now still stuck behind the Cranky Duckhead. The problem is as well, Cranky Duckhead is fighting position. He's not opted to pit. Kelly's come in, he's dropped, and away he goes. So he will fall behind Nova. But will he drop any further behind that? Max Mulder is then the next one to worry about. And Kelly is out of the pit lane. And that is his pit stop done. Already a good start for the Audio Sport boys. Meanwhile, Nova is still struggling to find a way past on the Honda driver. Oh, as I say that, Cranky Duckhead's gone round. Nova had nowhere to go. Contact to the front end of his car. and around he goes. Cranky Duckhead in the kitty litter, and he has to try and find a way out of there as quickly as possible and as safely as possible. He finds some clear space, but he spins it all the way around, and that's not going to help him out. Meanwhile, Peterson is having a scrap with Gray at the minute. Gray with major damage to the front end of his car. Meanwhile, Goudet has just gone fastest. John Goudet, the number 8 Mercedes, fastest of them all at the minute. He is going to steal that championship point, but right now he's going to try and find a way past on the Porsche driver, restricted as well, and a Porsche is quite slow in a straight line as it is, so with a restrictor as well and ballast, Flem Speed 1 is really going to be struggling here. DJ Phil finally opts to pit. Was that a little bit too late? These guys currently battling for position. Cranky Duckhead haven't managed to get going. He's lost out to Max Mulder. That's looking good, Kelly. That's looking good motors that Kelly and DJ Phil have. Very good. DJ Phil's is very bright. He's come to a stop, but I think he's not just come and stop. He's probably changing tyres. DJ Phil has messed up his pit stop here. And Dennis Newman in the chat. Nice to see you in the chat. DJ Phil's opted to change tyres. So he's going to lose out positions here, because here comes Max Mulder now. He comes to the line, and DJ Phil is dropping down the order. Cranky Duckhead into the pits. So Max Mulder will inherit another position. As for John, he's now found a way past Flem Speed 1. And DJ Phil opting to change the tyres, and is now dropped down the order. He was in a solid position, and he is dropped down back into the mid-pack. Oh, I say that Goudet's gone wide. John Goudet has gone very wide, and he is now lost back to Flem Speed 1, who has moved up another position. Dean Wasaki still yet to pit. But it's Matt leading away from Nova, from Kelly Davis. That is your top 3. Obviously, Dean Wasaki still yet to pit. I think he's the only driver to pit, and we've seen Dean before in Project Cars, and he's doing it again here in ACC. He likes to go very long in the race. Excuse me. And into the hairpin he comes. Is Dean Wasaki finally going to opt to pit? He does, but he's been caught by Matt, Nova and Kelly Davis. I think his real fight is probably with Flem Speed 1, who is under some immense pressure here from Goudet once again. And here comes John down the inside. Is he going to get the better run? He's sending it into the chicane, and he gets a good run, a good exit, and he moves ahead of the Porsche. Meanwhile, DJ Phil was flying through the chicane. And into the hairpin we come. Can DJ Phil find him? He's very late on the brakes as he catches onto the back of the Porsche 992. As Dean Wasaki is in the pits. Is he going to be dropped in time before this bunch of drivers come flying up behind him? Into the hairpin he go, and I think Dean Wasaki has done the same as DJ Phil and has decided to change the tyres. DJ Phil really hustling the back of the Porsche driver. Meanwhile, Micro J's is on the back of Gray. He's looking to find a way through, but DJ Phil still looking to find a way past on Flem Speed 1 in that Porsche. With 4.5 minutes to go, the restrictor and ballast will start to kick in from Matthew Duffin. And yes, Matthew Duffin at 1.1 update. Nice job, Dan. Thank you very much, Dennis Newman, and thank you as well, Musnaz Top Comms lad. It is great to watch. Thank you very much. But Nova is bringing the gap down to Matthew Duffin. That ballast is starting to kick in. Meanwhile, that is the only closest fight on track at the minute is this DJ Phil versus Flem Speed 1 fight. I say that Cranky Duckhead is actually within a 3/10 of Dean. So Dean trying to do everything he can to hold on to that P8 position. But he has got traffic of Gray, who's trying to get out of the way. There's cars damaged left, right and centre. And Gray gets moved to one side, but that's allowed the Cranky Duckhead to swoop underneath and go ahead of the Ferrari driver. Dean Wasaki now laps also Gray as well. So through goes Dean Wasaki. Meanwhile, your lead gap has come down to just under 2 seconds. DJ Phil has lost time to Flem Speed 1 as well. So DJ Phil has just dropped the pace ever so slightly, or made a mistake, and Flem Speed 1 has been able to extend that gap. So currently right now, Matthew Duffin, aka Matt Imovic, you all know him from Pro. He's come back into Pro-Am currently leading the way. Nova sets the fastest lap of the race. Even in these damp conditions, he is the fastest man on track, and lap times seem to be relatively the same. But it's Matt still holding on to this lead. Is DJ Phil now starting to make some form of progression on the back of Flem Speed 1? Not really. Any other fights? Dean currently trying to pass Dean Wasaki, who's not done his pit stop. I don't understand why these boys are not completing the stops. It's literally just come in and stop. That's all it is.
The pit window is closing now.
And the pit window is closed. So has Dean managed to just get in as Peterson is in a fight with Gray as well, but he's got lapping cars coming up behind him of Peter Motorsport, the number of places 11 at the minute, and he's found a way past the McLaren, and that's allowed the Lamborghini through as well. But right now, the gap to the top two has come down. Matthew Duffin versus Nova, and we've only got 2 minutes left to go, so probably this lap and one more still to go. Matthew Duffin, can he hang in there? Restrictor all on board and everything. He loves this circuit. It is his home circuit. Can Matthew Duffin, with the ballast on board, hold back Nova, who's been super fast and consistent in that McLaren? Up towards the top end of the circuit we go. Oh, Matt looks like he's struggling for grip ever so slightly. Nova's had a bit of a moment as well, I think. It is 8-10 separating those two. Everywhere else is relatively flat. As we do a quick run in the order, it's Matthew Duffin from Oh, Matt's had a twitch. Matt had a big twitch there on exit of Coppice, so he's going to be a little bit restricted as he heads towards the S's. Kelly Davis in a solid P3. He's got quite a comfortable gap over Max Mulder. Goudet currently sat in P5 with Flem Speed 1, P6, DJ Phil P7, Cranky Darkhead in P8, Dean in P9, and Raiden down in P10. But we go back to the leaders. It is half a second separating them. It is one lap to go. Nova has really got to find this position in one lap, and in the wet conditions, the ballast and restrictor does kind of negate a little bit, but you can see clearly that it's affecting Matt quite badly in the traction zones, as we've got one lap to go. Leaders on the last lap, and it is Matthew Duffin versus Nova for the race win here for the first race of the season. Matt's home track at Donington Park. Can he hold on for one more lap? We're on board with Nova, who's taken fastest lap. He has taken pole position. Can he take the full sweep and a win? He has got slight damage to the front when Cranky Darkhead did drop it. But Matt's been clean as a whistle. He's had another twitch. He's had another moment. Nova's pushed it a little bit too far, bouncing over the curb as they head up towards the far end of the circuit. They've got lap traffic. They've got the Ferrari in the way of Michelle, and they'll probably have Pearson not far up in front as well. And they're going out. Nova's looking up to the inside. Matt's defending the inside as they head up to the right-hander of Coppice. Can Nova get a better run, a better exit? Matt's going to struggle with the ballast and the restrictor, but he manages just to hang on as they head towards the S's. Matt flashing his lights to tell the guys, get out of his way. He is in a fight, but Nova's all over the back of him. Towards the chicane we go. There's cars everywhere. This is going to be dramatic. Gray's off. All sorts of cars all over the place. There's BMWs everywhere. Ferraris everywhere. Matthew Duffin trying to negotiate his way through the track. Nova's missed his brakes. He's made contact. All sorts of chaos here, but somehow Nova gets the job done. Although he went off track, he's given the position back. Matthew Duffin is going to win the race or not. That's the question. Towards the line they come. Nova, try and get a better exit, try and get a better run, but it's not going to be. Matthew Duffin wins the first race of the season. Nova's going to come home in second. Michelle crossed the line in that 17th, Gray 18th, Playman in 20th position. Where is Kelly Davis? He was probably not expecting this. Dean Wasaki comes home in 11th, as also Olsbrook comes across the line in 19th. Kelly Davis will finish on the podium, P3 for him. It's going to be Max Mulder to come home for P4 for the first race here. Goudet's going to come home and exit the final corner and take a P5, and he takes fastest lap of the race as well. He steals that away from Nova. Flem Speed 1 is going to exit the final corner and get himself a P6 with the restrictor and ballast on board. DJ Phil is going to finish in 7th with Cranky Duckhead coming into the hairpin. He is just behind Micro J's by the list of things, and we come into the final chicane, the final hairpin now. Cranky Duckhead in the old Honda exits the final corner, and he'll take a solid P8. Your P10 is going to round off with Dean and also with PN Motorsport. What a fantastic first race there, and again, respects to Nova to give the place back. What a first race we had there. Fantastic carnage at the start, and we had carnage at the end, but it is Matthew Duffin who wins. PN Motorsport crossing the line in 10th, and the rest of the drivers just finishing off now. Pearson also coming to the end of the race. Wow, what a start to the night. And that is just race one of the night. We still haven't put in the reverse grid. That'll be next week for the next race. But it is Matthew Duffin who takes the first win of the season, with Nova in second and Kelly Davis in P3. We'll be back in a few moments' time for the second race and second qualifying. So we'll be back in a few moments' time. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a SimPlay Motorsport, and what a first race we have had. It's been absolutely chaotic, but we have had a first race. The tables have been updated, but first things first, something that's been introduced this season that I haven't done in a very long time is obviously speak to some drivers. And obviously for the Xbox boys, it is going to be quite difficult. We might have to open up a Discord chat or something to get it to work, but if they are happy to do an interview, then we will. We will talk to the top two. We haven't got Nova in with us. It's just some old veterans in the party with us. And we'll start with one of the eldest boys on the grid and still got it, even in the tricky, greasy conditions. And Kelly Davis, my old father. That's one way to start a season, isn't it? Yeah, as you've noticed, since Bozzy's come into the sponsorship, you can tell that the commentary box has been redecorated a little bit. Yeah. Either way, obviously you've known from obviously racing on Project Cars, the PS4 version, and you've now jumped to the PS5 version. You're in the new version of the McLaren Evo. Talk to us, obviously, the transition first between PS4 to PS5. How much have you had to adapt to this game? Yeah, we're currently watching you at the minute going down the crane of curves. That gave me Plato vibes. That did, where he dropped the Chevy Cruze down there. Like I said, an awesome way to start the season. You finish P3. Obviously, Nova and Matt were long gone into the distance. Obviously, again, you've lost myself as a teammate who's gone up into the pro, but you've taken DJ Phil. DJ Phil was looking very good at the start of that race. He looking like he was on for a solid P2. But I think he may have opted to change tyres. I think he's forgotten about the new rules. Right. Yep. So a bit of a debrief when you boys go back into the party and figure out exactly what happened there. Yeah, I missed those meetings. Obviously, coming into the PS5 league, um, bringing back obviously the race. Like, what is the goal for yourself and Team Autosport Remix? Obviously, very different drivers, different cars, and obviously these really random conditions that we have here. What is the goal for this season? That would be awesome. See, sadly, we didn't get a word of anything that Kelly said, so I will have to go over to his house at some point and change his settings. So that is a bit frustrating. But basically, due to the PS5, he says, but basically, in a nutshell, he basically says him and Phil look relatively comfortable, consistent, and looking to try and retain the constructors with Autosport, and obviously Kelly's going to try and get a win himself this season. So congratulations to Kelly Davis on that one, and best of luck for race 2. He said, thank you, and although nobody heard us, waste of time. Right, okay. He says, cheers and God to everyone in the chat. So, obviously a reminder as well, for the guys on track at the minute going through a qualifying session, this will not happen next week at the next round, Zolder, as it will be reverse championship grid order for the Second race for the feature.
First race.
First race, I can't remember. I'd come up with the rules with Matt, but I can't remember the rules anymore.
Yeah.
It is the first race that's reverse grid in the sprint. It used to be the feature, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
We used to have top half, didn't qualify, didn't we, season 1?
Yeah. Either way, I'm just blabbering on, and I've even though I know the rules, I still can't get them right. It is actually was the sprint race reverse grid. It's been a while. I need to get back in the car and start racing.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
Anyway, we do go to our winner, and I don't think he was quite expecting it, considering he was carrying full ballast, and he's got a restrictor, and he was doing testing with us, and he was like, this thing is slow in a straight line, but nonetheless, Matthew Duffin, Donington Park, first race of the season, a win to his name. Wasn't expecting that now, was you?
Bugger, just messed up the craners. No, wasn't expecting that. I did say, though, that the rain would be the equaliser for the ballast and the restrictor. And Donington, 45 minutes up the road from me in the real world, know it like the back of my hand. You know, drier circuits as the season goes on and we get into the warmer periods of the months, I think you're going to see this BM start to really struggle at Monza, Spa, maybe even next week at Zolder, a few more straights here. It's hard in the dry. Wet pace last night in testing, I was really struggling to keep, match Kelly's pace at times. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough season.
How long have you been standing outside doing the rain dance? Because obviously you live quite locally to the circuit, and you've been doing your little shimmying outside to bring the rain.
Yeah, to be fair, I was sort of sat there all day, and I was chatting with Daz Automatic earlier. He was testing, he says, oh, it's damp, but then it's drying, and it's drying really quick, and it's like, oh, no, please. And we hit reset on the lobby. I was the first one in, and lo and behold, it was raining. Dried through practice, which, I think you saw the pace in qualifying wasn't quite there. I know Kelly said that traffic caught him out in our party chat, and he had another second on the table. That would have put him, on me, if not just ahead, just behind. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to have it all my own way this season. The rain, I think, nullifies the ballast and the restrictor, because it's about who could keep it on the track.
It is indeed. Obviously, you partnered up with Dean Masocki. You've been teammates with Gary131 for God knows how long as Jaeger Motorsport. You are now Jaeger Motorsport Pro-Am drivers with Dean Masocki, both running the BMW M4. What is the goal for the pair of you this season?
The goal is win the Constructors' Championship. Obviously, I took the step down. I was meant to be racing the BMWs, which didn't happen, to give you the opportunity to obviously race Pro, because it's been a couple of seasons since you've raced Pro. This is why the weight and restrictor of power has been added to my car. So the goal is Constructors with Dean, and try and take Dean to his first championship. Kelly obviously won his first one with himself last year. He'd like to retain that, make it 2, and win Phil's first one. I'd like to win Dean's first championship. It'll make me a 6-time Constructors winner. A couple of times with Gary, then on F1 and Project Cars and ACC, and then one time with Dean, one time with Smithy as well. So, yeah, there's a challenge, because, Dean's not got the outright pace. We see him at times put in some blistering laps, so there is a challenge to try and get him up to speed and at the front, and we'll see what we can do.
Obviously, predictions for or what you're hoping for in race 2.
If the rain stays like this, at least another podium, if not a win, because like I say, I feel the rain is the big equaliser for me.
Well, as you exit the final corner, we are on board with you. This is a valid lap. Best of luck for race 2, Matt. As he comes towards the line, he goes P2. Meanwhile, Nova is behind him, and looks like he's on a lap. Nova's on a outlap, so let's see what he can do. But it is currently Max Mulder who is fastest of them all, and we will have to get everybody's settings set correctly, so that if they do plan to come in for an interview, we can get it all set up and done, so we don't have to worry about that. But sadly, we didn't get to hear Kelly. As Peterson now comes out of the final corner, and he comes towards the line now, and he goes up into P10. Then it is Kelly Davis currently on track. Still not put a lap time together, so struggling to keep it within the track limits, and no improvement there. So a lot of drivers here struggling to keep it within track limits, as Playman is now heading towards the Melbourne hairpin in the Evo. And what can he do in this machine? I am now the boys have left, I can up the party chat, so you boys and girls can hear the cars again. There we go. We've got car noises. But currently at the minute, it is Max Mulder who is fastest of them all, as a good friend of Tibbs, and I know Tibbs' mum is probably supporting him as well, as part of the BT BTC Jaeger Motorsport, Jaeger Racing Doolally. They're at the top at the minute with Max Mulder as he's had a big snap and twitch as he comes out of Coppice and he heads down towards the S's and he's not looked like he's going to improve. Car currently on a lap time. I think that is DJ Phil. It is. He's currently P8 at the moment. As Max is currently fastest of them all. But here comes a DJ Phil towards 9. Any improvement? No, he stays P8. It will be the 87 next of Storson as he comes up towards the hairpin now. Try and get a good exit, a good run. And it X towards the line. And now, is he going to go any faster? He stays a P7. And there is a pole out for you guys who you think is going to take pole position, as Nova has not really improved either. Goudet currently sat in P3. As we see Aidan Bennett in the chat. Good evening to you guys. And if you haven't done so, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. Currently doing 35 threes at the minute. Matt comes to the line, no improvement. And if you haven't done so as well, have a look at our sponsors. We have our good old faithful Audio Sport and Design Manchester as well, and our brand new sponsor Bozzy Designs as well. So go give those guys a follow and like in their channels down below in the description, and give them a like and subscribe to all their wonderful things. And that said, if it wasn't for them and if it wasn't for you guys, the drivers, the fans, everyone watching, it would not be what it is today. What a fantastic start to the season already we've had. The first race has been dramatic, been chaotic, and we are looking forward to more chaotic racing to come. 53, that is DJ Phil exiting the chicane. A final hairpin, sorry, as he goes all over the curb. Is it an improvement? No, it is not. That is a BMW coming up towards the line. I missed which BMW it was. It was Olsbrook, and he only stays 14th place position. We then got the 87 of Storson. Towards the line he comes. P8 the minute. He now goes P3. But he's still missing half a second on the guys in front, and those guys have found that time in probably the best conditions. Kelly Davis has finally completed a decent lap. What is this going to be? It is only going to be 9th for him as Cranky Duckhead crosses the line, and no improvement there as he did not validate his lap. It is going to be Matthew Duffin then towards the line to try and improve on P2. Is he going to find the time? No, he is not. And we'll go on board with the 88 of Nikita as he comes towards the end of the session. Leon Fernie managed to get himself into the lobby as well. But regarding the championship standings, it looks like this. Matthew Duffin leads the way with Nova in second. Kelly Davis in P3 with Max Mulder in P4. John Goudet was in P5 with Flem Speed 1 P6. DJ Phil was in P7 with Cranky Duckhead in P8. Dean is in P9 with PN Motorsport as a Raiden in P10. Dean Wasaki is in 11th with John Andrews in 12th. Nikita is in 13th. Micro J's in 14th with Storson in 15th place. Peterson in 16th. Michelle in 17th. Gray in 18th. Allsbrook in 19th. Playman in 20th position. Leon Fernie in 21 position. And that is your championship order. Obviously, some drivers still not yet to make an appearance. Hopefully, we should see them next time out at Zolder, but it will be a reverse championship order. Regarding the manufacturers, the constructors, it looks like this. Jaeger Motorsport and Team Autosport Remix tied on 75 points, leading the way with Bullet Bandits Racing in P3. Greasy Bandits Racing currently in P4, only a point behind them, with FSO Racing in P5, BTC Racing, BTC Jaeger Racing in P6, with I don't even know how to pronounce PN and Micro J's name, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to say that they're in P7 at the minute, and then Team Rishi Corsa is in P8 with Red Dragon Racing at the back of the pack as an independent. And I haven't got manufacturers this time, or are they at the top? Yep, I believe they might be at the top. There they are, and it's Bentley, I believe. No, it's McLaren. This has gone really well so far, ladies and gentlemen, as these not been updated. So give me 2 seconds while I get this done. There we go. There's McLaren leading the way with BMW in second place. Lamborghini is in third. Fourth is Bentley. Ferrari is sitting in fifth place. Sixth is Mercedes. Seventh is Porsche. Honda is in eighth. Audi is in ninth, and Aston Martin in 10th place position. Lexus, Jaguar, Nissan and Retia not made an appearance yet. And that is the current championship standings for all categories. But right now, that is the end of qualifying. And it's going to be a Max Mulder on pole position. He hasn't had a pole position in a very long time. Max is back on pole since I believe the Formula 1 days that we used to have. So Max is going to take the bragging rights and the extra championship points. So congratulations to him. In the end, it was Max Mulder from Matthew Duffin, from Stawson, from Nova, from John Goudet, from Flem Speed 1, Cranky Duckhead, Michelle, DJ Phil, and Kelly Davis rounds out your top 10. Some drivers not even managing to get a lap time on the board. As we get confirmation that it is a wet race. So, who is going to be the winner of the first feature race of the season? That is the question. I'm going to put a poll out for who you think will win the first race. Remember, we are in very wet conditions here. Hopefully, I kind of want it to rain like this for the pros, but I think a few of the other pro drivers would rather it stay dry. But we shall see how the pros turn out. Reminder as well to everybody watching that if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss any of the action all season long. We'll be giving you every single round here on YouTube. And there is a poll for who you think is going to win the second race. Get your votes in, and yeah, get yourself signed up, ready for this amazing new season ahead. As all the guys make sure they are ready to go with 5 seconds left to go. Is everybody going to make the start this time? Yeah, we don't. Peterson misses the start, so he will have to start from pit lane as we will get things underway. Max Mulder will lead them off as pole man and the extra championship point for pole position. So it's going to be Max Mulder on pole position, Matthew Duffin in second. It is going to be Stawson in P3, Nova in P4, John Goudet in P5, Flem Speed 1 in 6, Cranky Duckhead in 7th, Michelle in P8, DJ Phil in 9th, with Kelly Davis in 10th. Then we got Leon Fernie in P11, Dean is in 12th, Nikita is 13th, Peterson will start from the pit lane, so there'll be Playman up into 14th, Diwasaki will be 15th, Gray will be in 16th place position, Albrook will be in 17th, Andrews will start 18th, Raiden will start 19th, and Micro J's starting in 21st position, with Peterson starting at the back of the pack. So get your votes in on who you think is going to win this one. Support your drivers, get involved, and it is going to be an interesting final race tonight, and we will have our first reverse grid next time out at Zolder. But make sure you tune in tomorrow night as the pros will be hitting the circuit. Some old faces returning back to the pro category. And I can actually run through some of the drivers that will be in the pro class, myself being one of them. So in the pros, you'll have Peaceful Explosion, aka Mike Matthews, making his return. Dennis Newman gets his chance in the pro. Tibbs will be in there. Sky will be making his debut. We've also got Darren in there. We've got Overtaker returning. We've got Simon Blair, the Mutsnuts, returning with Paulo as well. Doctor Who will be joining us as well. We've got a new driver, E36KM7. Clouden will be joining the grid. Gary131 will be turning with Monkey Boy, Andrew Taylor, will be back as well. Sutty Apex, Graham making his return back to the pro category with Raimi Fernie, Smokey Devil, the older version of Leon and Smokey. Then we got a new driver, Just Boris, coming to the grid. We got Alex as well. We got Joe Bates, aka Fury, joining us on the grid, and a couple of reserves as well. The Hofner are not able to race, sadly, so we have got 19 cars and 2 reserves, so we should have 21 cars for the pro category, and that'll bring you the action with Matt and PN Motorsport. But as we go into the final corner to get things underway for the feature race, it is a wet one here at Donington Park. They all lined up 2 by 2. Who is going to take the chance? It is Max versus Matt. McLaren versus BMW.
Green light, go, go, go.
And we are green here for the feature race here at Donington Park. They all funnel their way up towards turn 1. Max putting his car right in the middle, but once again the Lamborghini driver of Storson sending it up the inside. And through into turn 1 we go. We've got a couple drivers off. That looks like Nova. He's gone off by the looks of things. And they're all managing to negotiate the start of this one a lot better. Everyone working their way through the order relatively clean and happy as they all manage to negotiate down towards Old Hairpin, and it is still green. Oh, we got a car off in the background. That is Michelle. He's gone off. And he's got himself going. Pearson has managed to get going as well. He has exited the pits. Oh, we got another car off. That's Leon Fernie taking out one of the bollards, but it is still Max Mulder leading away from Storson, from Matthew Duffin, from Goudet, who's at a decent... Oh, sorry, Nova's got ahead of Goudet. And that looks like Flem Speed 1 on the back of them as well. Cranky Duckhead with a decent start. That is also Kelly Davis, I think, he's had a moment somewhere. He's dropped down the order. So Cranky Duckhead has got Leon Fernie and DJ Phil once again with a decent start. Dean in 10th, Andrews in 11th, Dean Wasocki is 12th, Nikita's 13th, Gray 14th, Micro J's in 15th, Playman is 16th, Olsbrook, Raiden, Michelle. Callie Davis has had another moment. He's faced the wrong way, and the podium start has ended in disaster. As ready as Matthew Duffin already looking to make a move on Storson and goes down the inside. He holds on to that position. Meanwhile, Nova is still under pressure from Goudet. As Welsh says, might have to dust off the wheel as he's talking about 30 drivers. As we see here, Max Mulder heading up towards turn 1, holding on to the lead, and it's Matthew Duffin down the inside, but he's gone wide, and Stallsborough gets the position back. Nova still hanging on to that 4th position as Goudet is starting to try and hustle the back of him. 21 cars on track, and they are going at it. And still everyone relatively clean through the start of this race. Wet conditions, you thought it'd be a bit more chaotic, but they're all relatively clean so far as Max Mulder extends his gap. He's 2.1 ahead of the pack. Matthew Duffin sitting in P3 at the minute, Nova P4, Goudet P5, Cranky Duckhead P6, and Flemspeed 1. And right now the scrap we're looking at is Andrews, Dean and Fernie all battling it out for 9th, 10th and 11th place. Up towards the back end of the 2nd sector. And Leon Fernie heading towards the chicane. He's managed to extend the gap on Andrews. Meanwhile, Dean Wasocki is making a move on Dean. Dean on Dean. And it is Dean who comes ahead of Dean. That's not confusing. Too many Deans. But Dean Wasocki has to concede to Dean there, and he has a snap. Meanwhile, Dean is attacking Andrews as they head up towards the hairpin. And Dean's going to send it down the inside, and Wasocki's going to send it as well. He makes contact. The Audi driver hangs in there, but Dean's gone wide as well. Dean makes contact with Andrews. Andrews has gone round, and the Audi driver facing the wrong way, and that has allowed the rest of the pack to go through. Wasocki sends it into the hairpin. Nikita, though, he's on the inside, and Wasocki loses out to Dean. To some of the people who are veterans of SimPlay Motorsport, they'll be getting really confused with Dean and Wasocki because it's the same person, but another Dean involved as well. So Dean Wasocki drops behind Dean, and Nikita now in P12 looking to try and find a move on the pair of the Deans. But down towards the far end of the circuit, Max Mulder still extends his gap 3.3. Storson still in 2nd. Matt is still hanging in there. P3 is half a second off. He's starting to lose time now to Nova and Goudet, who are starting to creep on the back. Cranky Duckhead has got Flemspeed 1 giving him a hard time, and Leon Fernie is still hustling DJ Phil, so it's all relatively close between those guys. Michelle's having to move on John Andrews. John Andrews on the inside. He looks like he's probably wounded and carrying damage. Michelle goes through. But it's still Max Mulder extending his gap. As we see now, Matt Duffin is right on the rear wing of Storson. Is he going to send it down the inside? Matt doing his traditional thing of flashing the lights, but he can't seem to find a way through. Nova also is now starting to creep onto the back of this pack. Leon Fernie is right on the rear wing of DJ Phil, but meanwhile Flemspeed 1 is really hustling the back of Cranky Duckhead, who's under some immense pressure from the 3 drivers behind. Meanwhile, Leon Fernie is going to try and send it on the McLaren driver. And Leon Fernie can't quite get the run. Can Flemspeed 1 though find a better run through towards turn 1? Again, that restrictor really hampering that Porsche, but the wet conditions will help him out. Meanwhile, PN is losing out to Gray there. He looked like he was a little bit closer than that. Micro J's is ahead of this squabble as Kelly Davis has finally caught to the back of the pack, as Osbrook is really struggling in these wet conditions. I would say hopefully Zolder is going to be a bit drier, but it's probably unlikely being in Belgium, but we'll see what it's going to be like. But Kelly Davis making a recovery drive. He's on the back of Peterson, who started from pit lane. So he's got 2 cars, but now he's struggling to find his way through the rest of the pack. We go back to the leaders. Nova has now gone faster, and Goudet has lost time to him. Meanwhile, I'll turn away for a minute, and Micro J's is off. He's on the grass, and he waits for everyone to get going, and he gets back on track. And these wet conditions are not in his favour. Oh, meanwhile, Gray is under some pressure here from PN Motorsport, and Dean Wasaki's there as well. So Dean's dropped down the order behind Nikita. So Gray gets done, and PN Motorsport loses out big time there and drops down the order. So Wasaki hanging in there as they all come flying through, and now the back of the pack starts to thin out a little bit. DJ Phil and Leon Fernie are still going at it. Young Smokey, as Simon Blair says in the chat, DJ Phil is still trying to hang in there as best he can. Where is the Cranky Duckhead? We've lost him from this pack, so he's made a mistake and dropped down the order. So the Cranky Duckhead is no longer being hassled by Flemspeed 1, and up through the order, Leon Fernie is right behind DJ Phil, but there's no way through for him. Gray, meanwhile, looking to try and capitalize on the fight ahead of him, which is Michelle. So he's actually dropped behind these two. Michelle's on a run here to try and clear the pack, as Kelly Davis has now got past Playman as well. So he's managed to negotiate another Lamborghini and working his way up the order. Meanwhile, Max Mulder's lead has come down. It is no longer the 3-second gap that he had. It's now 1.4, but they come up to the next split, and I think it's going to be shorter again. It looks a lot closer than 1.4. Towards the split they go. It is 0.6. So Storson is coming back. He is recovering and trying to get onto the back of Max Mulder. Matt has set the fastest lap of the race in the BMW. Nova is just off them at the minute, and so is Goudet. So your top 5 is really much secure. Leon Fernie's still hustling the back of DJ Phil at the minute, as Micro J's at the back, as caught onto the back of Peterson. Can he find a way through on him? As Thorsten, though, is right onto the rear of Max Mulder. Your top 4, always shot. Top 5, sorry, always shot. As you see there, Goudet in the top of your foreground, having a little bit of a moment, as Leon Fernie, by the list of things, has not quite got DJ Phil just yet. I thought he did for a second. I thought I saw the black nose ahead of the white nose, but nope, he's still behind him at the minute. And these wet conditions really testing drivers at the minute. A great little scrap between these two, as DJ Phil has a moment and Leon Fernie has a moment himself. So they're struggling in these wet conditions. Leon Fernie still trying to find a way past DJ Phil, but in these wet conditions, you really got to hope that the car in front of you makes a mistake. A bit like a bouncing moment there from DJ Phil. And that's going to really compromised his run in this middle sector, and Leon Fernie could be any closer if he tried. And he's trying everything to find a way through, but he can't seem to. Oh, Leon Fernie's had a moment, and the rear end just snapping on him there. Storson, by the way, has dropped behind Matt, so it looks like he's had a moment. So that gives Max Mulder some breathing room, because he's only now got the BMW driver of Matthew Duffin. So Storson making a mistake, and that's really affected him there. Leon Fernie seems to struggle through the chicane, and DJ Phil gains that advantage back. What other fights we've got going on? Is Kelly Davis down the inside of Andrews. Andrews goes wide onto the curb. He goes, and he just manages to keep it on track. But Kelly Davis moves up. His next target is Gray. But it is Max Mulder after lap 6. We've still got 35 minutes left of this session. So it's Max Mulder leading the way from Matthew Duffin in second. Third is Nova. Storson is in fourth. Goudet is in fifth. Flem Speed 1-6. Seventh is DJ Phil with 8th. Leon Fernie with this fantastic scrap between these two. Dean is currently 9th. Nikita is in 10th with Cranky Duckhead in 11th, close to him. Dean Wasaki in 12th place position with PN in 13th. Michelle 14th. Gray 15th. Kelly Davis in 16th. Andrews in 17th. Allsbrook has had a moment. He's in 18th place and trying to get going again. He's actually lost out to Micro J's Peterson, and he's now lost out to Playman. No, Playman's struggling himself, so all changing with these wet conditions. Meanwhile, Leon Fernie is still looking at the back of that Lamborghini. Leon Fernie, oh, he's had a moment. He's touched the curb, but he's managed to get away with it. Storson now is trying to make a move on Nova, but can't seem to find a way through at this stage. After making a mistake earlier on, he's probably kicking himself as Playman has come into the pits. So obviously he's had damage or an incident somewhere that has had to bring him into the pit lane. But once again, we look back to this Leon DJ Phil fight. Great little scrap, but it's Storson who's actually closer to Nova. Nova's made a mistake. He's ran wide, and luckily for him, he'll get a better slingshot out of the corner. But he's given himself an opportunity there as Dean Wasaki is tumbling down the order. Kelly Davis is on the move. He is now up into 15th. But Dean making a mistake. He's now dropped down. But it's still Max Mulder with a comfortable gap over Matthew Duffin. Nova's sitting in third. And Storson still really hustling the back of that McLaren. Max Mulder is the most stable McLaren out there by the looks of things. And they run up to the top end of the circuit. Storson right on the rear wing. And Nova's gone onto the grass. He's run wide, and that is Storson through. Now, is Goudet going to find a way through as well, as Nova managed to just keep it on track? He's got going again, but he's stuck on that curb, and that's going to invite Goudet down the inside. He's managed to keep it going, and Storson himself had a big slide. And Nova, with the simplest mistake of just touching the inside of the grass, has now lost 2 places and dropped down the order. It's just so easy to make a mistake. Speaking of all over the grass, Leon Fernie's bouncing and doing a bit of MX racing there by the looks of things. Meanwhile, Kelly Davis is on the back of Michelle, which they're all on the back of Gray. So Gray just trying to keep the 2 drivers behind him at this stage. Oh, as Gray goes all over the curb. There is no grip out there, my friend. You do not want to be out there as Kelly Davis now. Try and get a good run on Michelle as they head up towards the chicane. And I will end the poll about halfway through this race on who you think is going to be the winner of this one. Oh, as we see there, Gray just has a bit of a moment. Michelle now right behind him. Michelle's going to try and send it into the hairpin. No, he doesn't, as Gray, I think, misses his brakes, or Michelle was a bit cautious on the brakes, and that's allowed Kelly Davis to have a scrap with him. And he can't seem to find a way through. As Kelly's going to look to at the final hairpin, he's going to send it down the inside, and he gets the job done on the Ferrari driver. Beautiful move there by Kelly Davis, and up into 14th place position, passing the Xbox driver, the only Xbox driver in Pro-Am. Yes, Welshie, there are some brand new cards out here. BMW M4, the new Ferrari 296, the McLaren Evo 2. We've got the Lamborghini Evo 2, and we've also got the Porsche 992 as well. Audi Evo 2 is available to drivers as well. It's all in the new packs. But Max Mulder now has extended his gap to Matthew Duffin. It is 8.9. Stawson is right off the pace now. He's P3 with John Goudet in P4. Nova has dropped to P5. Flemspeed 1 and DJ and Leon Fernie are catching this group. And they're really sticking to the back of the leaders. Obviously, with the likes of Matt and Max gone into the distance, your front row runners gone away from the rest of the pack. These guys having a great little scrap. If Flem Speed 1 did not have his restrictor or ballast, I think he would have been long gone into the distance from these two. As Leon Fernie thinks to finally make a move, but DJ Phil blocks him off. Very late braking move there from DJ Phil, and still Leon Fernie can't get his way through, and the pit window opens. Who is the first one in? It is the Cranky Duckhead straight away. The pit window opened and in he came. Kelly Davis, this is a great opportunity to get into the pits and just change and go. There's no one around him. He could get the pit stops done, but it will put him into traffic. As there goes Michelle, he sends it down the inside. And Kelly Davis straight into the pits, as I would have thought. Max Mulder's had a twitch, and that's allowed Matt through. Matt's leading the race, so Max Mulder has had a moment somewhere, and it's now Matthew Duffin leading 2 for 2 at the minute. Max in P2 now, Stawson P3, Goudet still there, and Nova. So Max losing the lead of the race. Leon Fernie once again losing time in the middle sector to DJ Phil. Meanwhile, Dean Wasaki is on the back of Gray. These two are having a little fight at the minute. BMW versus BMW. As Cranky Duckhead has gone, he is back on track. Kelly Davis now returns on track, and he has got a perfectly clean track ahead of him. No one in his way, so he can make some good time through there as Matthew Duffin leads. Max Mulder straight into the pits to get his pit stop done. Only a handful of Lamborghinis, to be fair. Well, you've only got 4 new ones on the grid altogether with Pro and Pro-Am, as a lot of the leaders now coming to the pits. Max Mulder, Goudet and Nova all opted to pit. Flem Speed 1 has now extended from these two who are scrapping, and DJ Phil runs wide. Has Leon Fernie finally got the undercut that he needs? No, he has not, and he still sits behind. Number 3, Max Mulder has got a stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So his chance of winning this race has now well and truly gone. Max Mulder speeding in the pit lane, and he is out of contention for the win here now. Such a shame for him there. Leon Fernie still hustling the back of... Oh, there's a car off. Who is that? That was a BMW. So that's Olsbrook. He's gone off, and he has to be careful to rejoin on track. There goes Dean, lapping him. But still, we look back to this Leon Fernie DJ Phil fight that has been going on for all sorts of laps now. Through the chicane they go, bouncing their way across the curb. And again, Leon Fernie just loses time in the chicane. DJ Phil flashing the lights at Flem Speed. He wants to try and catch onto the back of him. But who comes into the pits now? Matt has opted to pit. He's responding to the cars behind him. Stawson still hanging out there. Flem Speed 1, his teammate. So the FSO racing team are looking very good at the minute for points here. DJ Phil running to hold on to Leon Fernie. If I was Leon Fernie, I'd be pitting and trying to jump him. Dean P6, Goudet is the first one to pit, and Max Mulder has actually lost out to him. So what's happened to Max? He's dropped even further down the order. He's now in 8th place. Matt's been dropped and gone. He's long gone back into turn 1, and he's got some clean air ahead of him. Oh, Leon Fernie did look like he finally got the job done on DJ Phil, but he has gone straight on at the old hairpin. He has come back on track. DJ Phil holds on to the position. Leon Fernie going rallycross in there. Over the curb he went. And he's still attacking DJ Phil with dirty tyres. He finally gets the job done. Does he run wide? No. DJ Phil will now full in behind Leon Fernie, and Leon Fernie been stuck behind DJ Phil for what seems an eternity, has finally got the Lamborghini driver, the Team Audio Sport Remix driver, and has finally worked his way through. Speaking of Audio Sport drivers, where is Kelly Davis? He is down in P17, one of the early pits. Oh, who was that? That's the Cranky Duckhead. He's had a moment as well. As PN returns back on track, Micro J's just allowing Kelly Davis through. Kelly's jumped quite a few drivers who have been into the pits. Max Mulder 7 is drive-through as well. And Dean's done his pit stop. Goudet's done his pit stop, and has Matt. So the gap is really spread out. And Max Mulder finally gets his pit stop done. And DJ Phil into the pits. He comes. Loads of other drivers still in the pits. Olsbrook, Playman, and Gray all in the pit lane. And a lot of drivers out as things here. Nova has also had a moment. He's lost out to Kelly Davis. And Kelly is really on a charge in these wet conditions to work his way back up the order and to still score decent points. Dean Wistocki still yet to pit, as has Michelle. And might need to call and bring the MC Motorsports out of retirement as well. She would be awesome to see you guys back on track. DJ Phil has been released. And there he is. He is about to go back onto the track. Michelle was in the final corner, and his teammate is currently further back. Who is that? Micro J's all over the curb and grass there. He's trying to get out of the way of the people fighting around him. And then he caused himself to go off instead. So DJ Phil now, P6. Sorry, P7. He's just behind Dean, who Goudet's up on the road, and Matt's in P4. So where are all these guys going to fill in as Leon Fernie now been released with DJ Phil, has straight on the attack of Flem Speed 1 and has got past him. So obviously that restrictor and ballast are really hindering Flem Speed 1 there, and has allowed Leon Fernie through. Dimasaki now gone green. We've got 25 minutes left of this session. Flem Speed 1 runs wide and is struggling to keep with terms of the leaders as Matthew Duffin, your net race leader at the stage, catching the guys in front of him, and it's been pretty plain sailing for him at the minute. But his real threat right now is probably Storson, who is trying to use the clean air while he can. Can I use the PS4 game or need the PS5? You will need the PS5 version, but I believe it's free to exchange it through as long as you have a version of the game. Leon Fernie's had another trip through the grass, and as you can see there, up towards the far end of the circuit, Flem Speed 1 trying to get away from Dean Wasaki. Dean Wasaki's teammates coming up behind him to lap him, and we're now starting to get an order together where people are after the pit stops. Michelle's in, so as DJ Phil has come together with Dean. Luckily they got quite a bit of a gap. Dean's had a moment, DJ Phil's had a moment. Where is PMO Sport? Nowhere really near them, so they're all right for a minute, and DJ Phil waits for him and allows Dean to keep the position. So good stuff there from DJ Phil. So we'll wait and see if Michelle will go green, as officials now deem it as halfway through the race. So Storson into the final hairpin, trying to extend his gap as much as possible, but can't seem to do so. Leon Fernie in P2 with Flem Speed 1 in P3. Then you got the first of the pitters, Matt in P4. Goudet quite a bit off. Dean in P6 after contact with DJ Phil. DJ Phil will come back at him. Meanwhile, Nova is on the attack for Kelly Davis, as Max Mulder is gone. He's still fastest of them all, and it's just staying wet for most of the session. Nikita's gone around into the wall. He goes, he gives it a little kiss. Nova's touched the curb, and he's touched the grass, and he's made contact with Cranky Duckhead. That is bad luck for Cranky Duckhead. There is nothing he could have done there. He'd done everything possible to just not make contact, but sadly he has, and he's gone off. So Max Mulder inherits three places just by people making mistakes. So can Kelly Davis catch PN Motorsport towards the end of this race, while everyone else is relatively leveled themselves out. There's Micro J's trying to catch, I was going to say Michelle, who's gone off. Where is Micro J's? Where is... Oh, Michelle's already been off, so Micro J's already got that position. So he's up. Nova has come back into the pits with the major damage, and that is going to be possibly a retirement. Cranky Duckhead is trying to get himself back to the pits. As Thorsten now coming to the final hairpin, and Matt is being held up here by the Porsche driver, the Thorsten's teammate right now. Leon Fernie is lapping faster at the minute than Thorsten. So Leon Fernie is starting to find some pace. Sadly, he's obviously going to lose out to Matt here and not going to gain a win, but a little bit more practice and he would have looked good. The gap is coming down between them. It's going to take quite a lot for Leon Fernie to get them, but they've got 5 minutes left of this pit window and they've got to get their stops done. So Thorsten going to try and extend the gap as much as he possibly can. We've got a fight here with Micro J's and Nikita. Nikita onto the back of Micro J's. Cranky Decker finally got the car back into the pits. That must have been a challenge and a half for him. But Flem Speed 1 still yet to pit. Well, Matt did get ahead of him, but he's lost out to him once again. So Flem Speed 1 trying to help his teammate out as much as he possibly can by holding up Matt. So Thorsten can come into the pit, get his stop done and try and stay ahead of Matt. Both of these two running ballast and restrictors. So they're both trying to hang in there with somewhat slower cars. And Matt's looking to the inside. The Porsche genuinely slower anyway in a straight line. And Matt's going to get through on Flem Speed 1. Not the best exit from both of them. And Matt goes through. Where is Thorsten? He still continues on all over the wet curb there. As Leon Fernie still obviously trying to extend the gap before he has to pit. We've got a few others in the pit. Nova is obviously, I think, may retire. And he has to come out or else you will take a qualifying ban from the next race. Matt now with some clean air. Flem Speed 1 finally pulls into the pits and has done everything he possibly can to help his teammate out. Cranky Duckhead comes back out on track. But right now, there's not much going on. Kelly Davis and Max Mulder now are having a scrap. And Max Mulder caught onto the back of him. We'll end the poll there. And majority of you reckon that Matt is going to win this race. And it's looking very good for him at this stage. Max Mulder was in contention of a win, but he messed it up and lost time. He's going to go down the inside of Kelly Davis. Kelly has to go straight on. Max Mulder, oh, he's a bit twitchy. But Max moves on ahead. As Flem Speed 1 has been dropped, where does it put him? There is DJ Phil. Dean is just ahead of him, so DJ Phil will stay behind Flem Speed 1. As now we're starting to finally see where everyone fits in order. Max Mulder now ahead of Kelly Davis. And just up ahead of him, they can see PN Motorsport. Kelly can stick to the back of Max. He can catch onto the back of Phil as well and try and find a way through. As Thorsten finally comes into the pits. So the gap between Matt and Thorsten was around 23 seconds, I would say. As Leon Fernie comes in as well. Where is Thorsten? We'll go on board of him. Is he stopped and go? He stopped and he's gone, but he's not completed the pit stop. So we have to come in again. Matt jumped him anyway, but Thorsten did not complete the pit stop. Leon Fernie did, and off he goes. But Matt has got the lead once again. And I believe it's in a good day. He will sit in second place, and Flem Speed 1 will be in third. No, Leon Fernie will be in third. Leon Fernie currently sitting in a P3 position. After missing race 1, he is looking good for P3 in this race. So Thorsten, after doing his pit stop, it did not register correctly. He probably did not do the correct... I don't know what that didn't do correctly. but he has not performed the pit stop correctly. I'm not sure why. I think he's just got to stop for a second. So he didn't obviously allow the to get up and go, but a few mistakes here from some of the drivers. Yes, indeed, Welshie. 21 of you currently watching the stream. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss any of the action here at SimPlay Motorsport. This is just a warm-up event, the Pro-Ams here tonight. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night as the pros will hit the circuit next, as they will tackle Donington Park. Will it be as wet or will it be a dry session? That is the question. Currently, right now, coming to 15.5 minutes left of this session. It is Matt leading the way from Stawson, who's continuing on, even though he has to perform his pit stop, and he will get a penalty as well, because he's not done it within the pit window, so he's not allowed the jacks to come up and do his stop. So Stawson is going to try and take the penalty on the head and see where it puts him. But oh, that is painful for him, as we've got the last 15 minutes left of this session. It's Matthew Duffin leading the way from Stawson, who will have a penalty hanging over his head. Dennis Goudet, John Goudet in P3, Dennis Leon Fernie, Flem Speed 1 in P5, Dean in P6, DJ Phil in P7, with PM Motorsport Phil in P8, who's under immense pressure from Max Mulder. Then we got Kelly Davis, who's not really been able to stick with Max. Dean Wasaki in 11th, Micro J's in 12th. Nikita is off and facing the wrong way. He is 13th, but quite a gap to Gray. Peterson is in 14th and got damage. Andrews is 17th. Michelle is 17th. Sorry, Andrews is 16th. Michelle is 17th. Cranky Duckhead is 18th after massive contact with Nova. Nova's come back out. Allsbrook is moving to the side, and Playman has finally got his stop done as well. There's no real fight in a minute. Max Mulder has managed to work his way past PN Motorsport. Phil losing out to him just there. And what a fantastic first race we have had here at SimPlay Motorsport. It's been awesome so far. The Pro-Ams have been fantastic. What can the pros do tomorrow? That is the question. As it's been a while for me commentating, and my throat is already hurting quite badly. So all the action has been fantastic, though, and it's been great to watch. Oh, we got a car off by the sound. Max Mulder's gone off. Max Mulder's made a mistake. That's going to allow Phil to possibly get onto the back of him. He's not quite close enough. Or is he? He's got the run. Max Mulder's still trying to recover. He's going to have dirty tyres as they head towards the chicane. And Phil has to conceive and fall in behind. And sadly, Kelly Davis was not close enough to even think about possibly gaining an advantage from that. As the Lamborghini driver of Playman gets out of the way. Stawson currently P2, but he'll have that penalty lingering over his head. Leon Fernie, fastest man out there. He has got the fastest lap of the race. Flem Speed 1 currently P5. He is now starting to come under pressure from Dean and DJ Phil. I know actually Dean was ahead of Flem Speed 1 and is now dropped behind him. Is it the normal routine of Pro-Am is good and Pro is poo? We'll see. We'll see, Welshie. Hopefully not. Hopefully it'll be relatively clean. I'm a bit anxious of that now. Now you said that. Race 1 was a bit of a chaotic one. Oh, it's Flemsby 1 drifts through there, but Dean gets it even worse and he's into the gravel. DJ Phil goes ahead of Cranky Duckhead, lapping him there. And DJ Phil trying to catch Dean. And Max Mulder just struggling there with traction. Kelly Davis trying to get onto the back of Phil, but unable to do so because he's got some traffic that he needs to negotiate. And at the minute, it is just traffic galore. There's no real close fights. At the minute, you've got Gray and Peterson who are trying to battle it out, but they got the lapping McLaren of Kelly who's gone off with Peterson there. It's not Leon, it's Smokey, says good old Welshie. Oh no! Goudet has got major damage to the front end of his car. What has he hit, or who has he hit? Dean was the one behind him, but Dean's not got any major damage by the list of things. Oh, Dean's had a moment on his own. He's gone off, and around he goes. But Goudet has got damage to the front of his car. Oh my God. This is going to change yet even more. Okay, Hypertech has just got major damage to the front end of his car, and he was looking so good for points, and he might now give up points to his teammate Dean, who's hassling the back of Flem Speed 1. Can Goudet hang in there for 10 minutes with that major damage to the front end of his car? Oh God, as Leon Fernie is probably going to catch him and pass him, but he has got major damage. Dean, meanwhile, is still trying to hassle the back of, he's got his indicator going. He's trying to find a way past on Flem Speed 1. I can't find a way through at the minute. And up towards the chicane he comes. Flem Speed 1 really trying to hang in there against Dean, but right now, if Goudet's got that much major damage to the front end of his car, these two could catch him by the end of the race. Meanwhile, Stawson still, obviously, with that penalty lingering over his head now. Oh, he's gone way off. Oh, he's managed to hang in there though. And Goudet looks like he's struggling with right-handers. John is really starting to struggle here. As Leon Fernie looking to try and find a way through as best he can, but he can't seem to find a way past the car. There's a BMW off on the right-hand side of the circuit, but we're watching this fight. Oh, Leon Fernie's gone very wide, so he's made a mistake. Just as he's in a chance to take a second place, possibly in this race, he's made a mistake. And I'll get the driver of the day ready to go, so you guys can get your votes in. I mean, he probably, I don't know about the drive, Welshie, but most likely he probably does. Dean still hasn't found a way past on Flem Speed 1. And right now, everyone's had a kind of good, either had a good race one and a terrible race one, and then it's flipped them the other way around for the other race. So, for example, Kelly Davis had a good race one, but it's not worked out for him in race 2. He's back into the top 10 though, so that's something. After the start of this race didn't really go to plan. Currently half a second off at the minute is Flem Speed 1 and Dean. They're having their own little fight with DJ Phil. He's properly just dropped off the back. And Dean trying to find a way through. There's DJ Phil behind. Again, not quite close enough. There's 9/10 separating these two, so he's lost a little bit of time. So Flem Speed really just keeping it consistent, and I think he's probably been the other most consistent driver here tonight. Can Goudet hang in there? Leon Fernie has lost more time to him, so at the minute he's hanging in there by the skin of his teeth. Oh, as I go through a chicane, and Leon Fernie's just making one too many mistakes. Although he hasn't got the damage that Goudet has, he's able to just hang in there. Dean, oh no, Dean's, getting on the curb a little bit too much, Dean, and nearly went round, but he manages to keep it facing the right way. Oh, that was a heart and mouth moment for him, probably. And we've only got 7 minutes left to go of this first night of racing. Donington Park will be done for these guys. They'll be heading to Zolder for the next race of the season, an evening race at that as well. So they best get their don't damage their lights up too much, because they'll need them heading to the next round next time out. But it will be the pros tomorrow night. They'll be hitting the circuit. What can they do around Donington Park? But right now, Dean has lost out to DJ Phil. DJ Phil has found a way past on Dean, so Dean's must have made a bigger mistake. Flem Speed 1 has pretty much got that position secure now. So Dean has made a mistake and has allowed DJ Phil through. Yeah, yeah, it's very clicky. I'm sorry to hear the click it, but to some people it's a great I can't remember what it's called. But right now, Dean is still trying to find a way past on DJ Phil after losing out to DJ Phil after he was trying to hunt down Flem Speed 1 as Leon Fernie has lapped another car and Goudet has extended the gap as well. But right now, Matthew Duffin has got quite a comfortable lead against Stawson, but Stawson is going to have to take a penalty. That means that at the minute, John Goudet is going to he's gone wide. He's made a mistake, but he's going to hang on to it. He's got second place in the bag, but he needs to keep it on track, and he's carrying major damage to the front end of that car. Oh man, this is going to be another tight finish between him and Leon Fernie. Dean is still trying to get past DJ Phil. And right now, Dean is still looking for an opportunity for DJ Phil to make a mistake. Everywhere else is pretty flat at the minute. And then we've got 5 minutes left to go. It is Matt leading the way. Stawson in second. Goudet in third. Still defending from Leon Fernie in P4, who holds fastest lap of the race. Flem Speed 1 in P5. DJ Phil P6. Dean P7. Max Mulder P8, your pole sitter. Then we've got Phil Radin in P9. Kelly Davis P10. Micro J's P11. Dean Wasaki 12th. Nikita 13th. Peterson 14th, Andrews 15th, Gray 16th, Cranky Duckhead in 17th place position, Michelle the Xbox runner in 18th place, Nova currently 19th, Olsbrook in 20th, and Playman bringing up the rear. And the fight is between Goudet and Leon Fernie, also Dean versus DJ Phil, and I think Dean's made another mistake and lost time to Phil. So Leon Fernie, he's only got a couple more laps to try and find a way past on the Mercedes driver. But it's nice to see Mercedes back towards the front end. We haven't seen the Mercedes AMG car towards the front end again since the Project Cars Day. Is that Dean Wasaki pulling to the side? He looked like he had a bit of a wiggle. He's lost out to Micro J's, who's gone through. And Dean, once again, is trying to get past DJ Phil. He touched the curve there, and the rear end didn't like that very much. And I will get the poll out now for driver of the day. You can vote for yourselves now who you think will get driver of the day. There are the 4 options. And a reminder as well, guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. Also, while you're at it, please head over and have a look at our sponsors as well. Give them a follow. Bozzy Designs, Design Manchester, and Audio Sport as well. Give them a follow on all their social media and platforms as well. And make sure you tune in tomorrow night for the pros as they'll be hitting the circuit for Donington Park. Then it'll be Zolder next on the calendar as Goudet still hanging in there for that P2 position. We're pretty sure that Stawson is going to finish further down the order. I can't remember how many seconds it is, something like 130-second time penalty. Welshie in the chat saying DJ Phil for driver day, so that's 1 vote for DJ Phil. I didn't think of DJ Phil, so apologies DJ. But obviously the race 1 didn't go to plan. Andrews getting right in the way of Leon Fernie there. The blue flag rule is applied now, so Andrews needs to get out of the way, and he really blocked the McLaren driver there. That has saved John once again. Where is Matt? Are we going to get another lap in? Matt will be coming to start his final lap. He has really had no threat here in the wet conditions. That's really helps his championship challenge. But John Goudet is still hanging on to P3. Leon Fernie trying to hunt him down, but he can't do anything about it. Stawson is going to be hit with that penalty. as Matt comes into the final sector now, and he'll start his final lap in a few moments' time. But the fight between Dean and DJ Phil has kind of flattened. Max Mulder has struggled a little bit towards the end of his stint. He's got DJ Phil hunting him down. There's no real fights up and down the grid now. It is literally, can Leon Fernie hang in there? Leader has started his final lap. Matt is going to win 2 for 2 here at Donington Park. And it shows. Can we get back in the lobby now, please? No, you cannot, Simon. You have to wait till the race is finished. And Matt is still slowly working his way through. And the server will be reset anyway, Simon, so I won't worry about that. What is Matt doing here? Is he trying to allow Nova through? Nova is right behind him. Meanwhile, Leon Fernie and Goudet still going at it. But he's managing to hang in there, and no one's really been able to catch him, even though he's got this major damage to the front end of his car. You can see him struggling down towards Old Hairpin. Fast right-hander seems to be the issue for the Mercedes driver, and he's managing to stick with it and hang in there. As Matt now comes up towards the final chicane. 2 for 2 for Matt. Back into Pro-Am, he's got a ballast on board, he's got weight, he's got a restrictor on as well. As he comes into the second to last hairpin, the Melbourne hairpin. You're not racing tonight, Simon, it's tomorrow, so there will be practice after this. But now, let's Nova through and into the final. Oh, Nova's gone wide anyway. Matt's going to go through. Matt is going to make it 2 from 2. Matt wins both races at Donington Park. Nova will cross the line in 18th place position. Goudet is going to hang in there, and Stawson has made a mistake. Stawson has made the mistake and has dropped back even further, so he's going to lose even more places now, possibly, with that penalty hanging over his head. But out of the final corner comes Goudet. He's going to hang in there. He's going to just finish in second place ahead of Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie will get P3. The penalties will apply later on. Cranky Duckhead has crossed the line. Nova's finished. Allsbrook's finished. Micro J's crossed the line in 11th place. Leon Fernie will be P3 and fastest lap as well. And out the final corner comes Flem Speed 1 behind Dean Wasaki, who will finish in 12th. Flem Speed will finish in 5th, just hanging on there ahead of Max Mulder in P6, your pole sitter. DJ Phil is going to come home in P6. P7, the drivers need to stay in the server so we can get the final standings. Dean's going to cross the pin in 7th, as Phil is going to finish in 8th, and it's just Kelly Davis and Playman just to finish as well. But it is 2 from 2 for Matthew Duffin as everyone else comes towards the line to finish their race. Kelly Davis is going to round them off in 10th, probably 10th place position. To the line he comes. Kelly Davis will finish, and that is all she wrote. Where is Playman? There he is. He's in the final hairpin. Towards the line we come, and you get your votes in for driver of the day. And if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss any of that action here. But it's been Matthew Duffin once again back on top of the table. Guys, still get your votes in for driver of the day. Hopefully we should be able to get Matthew Duffin in, possibly Hypertech as well. But in the end, where did Thorson finish? He finished 10th in the end, so Kelly Davis will get 9th overall, and that is all she wrote. That is the Pro-Am's done for tonight. So it was Matthew Duffin from Goudet, from Leon Fernie, Flem Speed 1, Max Mulder, DJ Phil, Dean, Phil Radin, Kelly Davis, and Stawson was your top 10. I'm not sure if we're going to get Matt or Hypertech in here. I would just double check that Hypertech is actually a part of this chat. But nonetheless, the tables are getting updated as we speak, and we are looking forward to the next race of the season for these guys. It will be at Zolder, as there'll be an evening race for the boys, but more importantly, it will be the pro category next up tomorrow night they'll be hitting the track. And nice to see you guys all in the chat supporting the drivers. It's been an awesome night's worth of racing. And I'll just make sure I will update the standings. I'm just waiting for Matt to join us in the party. But I do have Hypertech with us. And hopefully we should be able to hear him on the chat. You guys will have to let me know. And I've got to make some changes to my settings because I've got you really quiet for some reason. But it was looking very intense towards the end there, John. Looks like you were just hanging in there with the major damage you had on the front end on the Mercedes. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the time as well, the back markers were helping you out a little bit. Obviously, every time that Leon Fernie got closer, you caught a back marker. He got stuck behind him a little bit longer. So really, the tyres then started to wear out. And at that point, it was slowly coming to you. Yeah. Yeah. Just a bit of bad luck with the drivers. Yeah, obviously in the Mercedes this time round, with the new PS5 version, the update and everything, Dean is your teammate as well. What is the goal for the overall season? Do you really think that you can challenge for the Pro-Am Championship this season with a decent start? Yeah. Yep. Well, sadly, we didn't hear you. The guys couldn't hear you. So basically, he had good feeling in the car. He likes Donington. He's gone very well around here, and he's really going to try and fight for a challenge for this championship. And yeah, put it this way, John, you are currently sitting second in the championship after tonight. So dragging it to the end has got you second place position. So all round, good night for him, and we'll see you at Zolder for the next race of the season. And we move to your race winner, your overnight destroyer. He's won every single race, even with a ballast and restrictor. And I think we need to ban wet weather when he's on track. But Matt, 2 wins.
It's funny, I said to my partner yesterday, don't go well at Donington, never won at Donington. 2 wins.
Took Pro-Am to do that.
Yeah, took Pro-Am with ballast. Like I said, the rain's an equaliser, mate. It's you know, I don't think I'd have won that race.
No, I think the Stawson did make the mistake, and like Hypertech was telling us, he was bringing that gap down to you as well.
Yeah.
But with everyone making too many mistakes, you had the clean air, you had the space, it was easy for you to disappear.
I think that's going to be what's going to win me a championship this season. I think it is going to be
stay out of trouble.
Consistency and stay out of the trouble. Max made a mistake. Max was gapping me 6-7 tenths a lap. Went off at the odd hairpin. That was game over. Then he got a stop-go penalty.
Yeah.
You know, mistakes. I think I'd have been on the podium if not fighting with Hypertech for fourth if he didn't have a problem. You know, but that's racing.
But it also shows the ballast and restrictor does still help a little bit, because Flem Speed 1 was also up there with the likes of you with his in the wet conditions. So we'll see how it all affects with Zolder if it is dry.
And the thing with the Porsche as well, where was Flem in race 1? I know he started at the back, so he missed the start, but wasn't as up there. And it was a bit drier in race 1. You know, it started drier in race 1. So it does prove that when the track is really wet, it's a level playing field. Before the pit stops, when the track started to get wet in race 1, Nova was pulling away. Nova was gapping me. So it looks like the rain, and when it's wet, it will cancel the handicaps out. When it's dry, I think I'm going to struggle.
Well, speaking of next time out, we will be heading to Zolder for the next round of the season, which will be also reverse grid for the sprint. And because you're leading the championship, you'll start last.
We need to have a chat, obviously, in the admin. If we get more sign-ups to fill the grid up to the 30 cars, we need to see what happens with the new sign-ups. Do they start last or what? So I think that's worth a chat. But yeah, at the minute, last. Going to be a tough one. Zolder's got a few more longer straights than Donington. So it is going to be a tougher one, especially if it's dry. But on ACC, I took 3 wins out of 4 at Zolder, back in the Bentley. So it's good memories for me. Good memories for me. I like Zolder. The pit entry is interesting as well. I love the pit entry at Zolder.
I knew that was coming. But yeah, we'll see how Matt gets on in a week's time. But congratulations, mate. You got joint driver of the day. And,
brilliant, thank you very much. Can I just say as well, last of all, Max Mulder, great pace. We're not seeing that from him on ACC. Hypertech, well done. Me and Hypertech's been driving together a bit on a Sunday night, so he's getting better. Nova looked good for his debut. And I'll tell you what, I want to tip my hat today on Fernie. Good second race. Good, strong second race.
It was... He actually took fastest lap of the race.
Yeah.
So he stole that point away as well. It was a equal driver of the day until just now. 8th vote has come in, and it's now Matt who is driver of the day. But I will equalise it. Actually, no. I'm not going to equalise it. I'm going to give my driver of the day to John with that drive towards the end just to hang in with the damage as well. Great stuff from him. And I was expecting Matt to win tonight with his experience on ACC, so not surprised there. But congratulations to John on that. But it is Matt who is driver of the day tonight. And regarding the championship standings, it looks like this. Heading to Zolder, it is Matt who will be leading the way ahead of John Goudet in 2nd place. Max Mulder in 3rd. Flem Speed 1 in 4th. With Kelly Davis in P5. Nova will start in P6. DJ Phil will P7. Dean will be P8. P9 is Phil Radin. In 10th is Leon Fernie. Cranky Duckhead is in 11th. Dean Wasocki is 12th. Arstolson is in P13, Micro J is 14th, Nikita in 15th, John Andrews in 16th, Peterson starts in 17th, 18th will be Gray, 19th is Michelle, 20th is Allsbrook, and Playman bringing up the rear in the points. Regarding the teams, Jaeger Motorsport back on top as they usually are, leading the way, 7 points ahead of Greasy Bandit Racing in 2nd. 3rd place is Team Autosport Remix. FSO Racing in P4 with Bullet Bandits Racing P5. P6 is Micro J's and PN's team. I can't pronounce that name.
Iceni is how they're pronouncing that.
Iceni Motorsport in P6. BTC Jaeger Racing in P7. Team Richie Corsa is in P8. And Red Dragon Racing is in P9. And regarding the manufacturers, McLaren lead the way ahead of BMW, from Lamborghini, from Mercedes, Bentley, Ferrari, Porsche, Honda, Audi, and Aston Martin still yet to score a point. But that has been the first race this season for Pro-Am, and what a first race it has been. Make sure you guys stay tuned in tomorrow night for the pros as they will hit the track. But first things first, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified. Head over to our Instagram as well. More posts have been put on there as well. Follow our Facebook page, head over to the Discord, and if you do want to be a part of the action here at SimPlay Motorsport, then head over to the SimGrid, be a part of the Discord, and I know you want to, Yoshi, so get yourself back on the wheel and back on track as well. And Matt, it will be you in the commentary box with Phil bringing the action for the pros, and it's going to be an interesting night. So we're an interesting season ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic season. Myself tomorrow, Pierre's got personal things that he's doing tomorrow, so it's just myself in the comms box. But it looks a fantastic season, Dan. Yourself back in the pro, teaming with Mike. We've got some new drivers. Do we have a new Ripper on the grid? Just Blair will be there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. 8 p.m. GMT tomorrow night is the time for the Pro Series. Come and join me live on YouTube for that one. It looks a fantastic season, Dan.
It does indeed, and I'm hoping it's either going to be one or two of the things. Is either going to be completely dry or completely wet. Either one, I'll be very happy. I don't want the greasy conditions. But nonetheless, also head over to Audio Sport, Design Manchester, and Bozzy Designs as well for all those fantastic sponsors as well. Head over to their socials and their YouTube channel. The Pro-Am will return in a week's time at Zolder for an evening race. Is the rain coming back once again, or is it going to be a dry race? Who knows? But we have been SimPlay Motorsport, and we shall see you tomorrow night for the pros. Good night.